The whole point of releasing a name is to intimidate someone, to threaten someone, and to scare other people from coming out. That's something that dictators do. I've lived in China. I've seen that firsthand. That's not what America does. That's not who we do. We stand by our people. Why did you want to release the name?
Listen, Abby, I think... But I wish the outrage would be equal. I mean, there was no outrage when, my family got an exploding letter of, with white powder substance in it.
Who is saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
But he asked to be anonymous. Your family did not. There's a difference.
But it was a difference between me tweeting about it.
It's different when the president's son does it, though, isn't it?
Why? I mean, I'm a private citizen putting this out there. If everyone in this room could have read this, I don't see any difference whatsoever. But Abby, you guys at ABC is right now chasing down a whistleblower about all of the Epstein stuff because those stories were killed. So if we're going to have the conversation about the outrage about whistleblowers, you work with CBS stuff. You work with CBS to out a whistleblower who came up with a story that's kind of shady.
If you talk about hypocrisy, you seem fine with people leaking information if it makes you and your father look good, because WikiLeaks and Julian Assange is a cyber terrorist, right? And I think a Russian puppet. You are fine promoting his stuff, and your dad praising him on the campaign trail if it makes you look good. So how is this whistleblower who went through the right channels, how are you now releasing his name and putting his life in danger, but WikiLeaks was doing the right thing?
When you look at this facts and you look at the circumstance, you look at, in fact, even on this show, the first day after the election, it said, and now let's start with impeachment. Number two, when you look, well, it was on this show on November 9th.
No, actually, it wasn't.
You guys talked about impeachment.
We've had all kinds of. Wait, I listened. Now I'm asking for the same. You can't say I'm a private citizen and yet you're in the middle of all of this. If you're talking about the white powder that your family got, this guy's family's getting the same thing. And why is it okay for one and not both?
We don't know that that's actually happening to him, first and foremost.
Well, we don't know that it happened to you. But we're taking your name. We're taking your...
It was reported.
It was a case.
Stop yelling.
You're a lawyer.
Yes.
And we've known each other. You were a former prosecutor. I mean, did you advise your boyfriend that it is a federal crime to out a whistleblower?
I didn't advise him that it was a federal crime, but I did come out of the bathroom and say, I left you alone for 10 minutes. What happened when Mama Sita's gone?
Who? Only a federal crime for the IG to do it. That's in the statute. So that's
that's the point. You can't run with it.
It is not.
Let me show you 1505. It is a crime.
It's not accurate. Just ask Rick Paul. He went
my
to
law
great
degree says
detail
it is. Actually, let me ask you, do you regret retweeting that?
Why does he...
It's out there. I read it in an article. I've been reading it for a week. I saw it on the Drudge Report. Like, this is not some secret, but to then say, because it's Donald Trump Jr., because he's an outspoken guy, to then create... Why was there no outrage when Drudge Report, which is...
Move on.
I understand.
Move on. I want to talk the memo of the call, because I don't believe...
The other guy in the Ukraine, in terms of aid being withheld. So no one knew about these things.
But that's not true. That's a lie. Military aid was withheld.
Yeah.
Yes.
No one knew about it in the Ukraine. So there was no quid pro quo. You see all the...
But Kimberly, the military aid was withheld.
Didn't even know that it was withheld.
The timeline has been clearly demonstrated.
But that's a lie. There have been several ambassadors that have testified.
Did Gordon Sondland lie then?
He says something.
He's afraid of
on the
perjury.
record.
He's afraid of going to jail.
Or he's afraid of being attacked, like so many of us have for so long, by a vicious left that's running a one-sided sham thing.
Let's go to a break.
Adam Schiff is doing a one-sided thing. Republicans
Children! Stop yourself.
Recently, you've been very outspoken about how Hunter Biden has benefited from nepotism.
Yes.
And you say, I wish my name was Hunter Biden. I could make millions off of my father's presidency. Yeah. And your father encourages people to buy your book. I think that's benefiting from your dad's presidency. Let's talk about 2020, because you do talk about 2020 in your book.
The show?
No, 2020. He talks about 2020.
Can I address Hunter Biden first?
ABC plug.
Your father's D.C. hotel opened up just a couple of weeks after his election.
I'm glad you asked.
And you've actually made, I think, according to your father's financial report, he earned about $40.8 million.
We're giving back.
That's not a crime.
Take a
breath. That's not a crime. They have a duty and obligation to honor their business
unlike Hunter
contracts.
Biden, we didn't become international businessmen magically when we got in office.
Listen,
right? And that's something that no one talks about.
Don't do that.
We stopped.
Excuse me. The cross-talking is making everyone crazy.
I'm new here, sorry.
That's all right.
Again, I understand, with full disclaimer, I'm the son of a rich guy from New York, but, you know, I spent a lot of time in Middle America. Yes.
Seems to be petrified of Joe Biden. Joe Biden's beating him in a lot of polls. He's scared of Joe Biden.
Joe Biden doesn't know what state he's in 50% of the time.
Joe Biden. Stuff on Biden.
It would be easier to have this conversation.
It's true.
We would be easier to have this conversation if we could do it without the jokes. Because the jokes are making it hard to hear anybody's point.
I'm on the side of free speech and comedy. Comedy rules. Let the comedians do their thing. You're not a comedian.
I'm proud Latina, Hispanic, Boricua, 64% Native American, Indian.
Mr. Trump, you and your family have hurt a lot of people and put a lot of people through a lot of pain, including the Khan family. Does all of this make you feel good?
I don't think any of that makes me feel good, but I do think that we got into this because we wanted to do what's right for America.
This one's to end racism.
He's brought jobs back. He's created unprecedented levels of unemployment numbers for African Americans, for Hispanic Americans. This is fact.
No, it's not fact.
For women, if you ask a question, let me do that.
But I do want to know, the question, I understand.
By the way, I'm not happy that people interpret it that way. I don't think that's our intention.
Character and and again, I will let you speak.
And as a conservative, I would hope that you would appreciate that conservatives haven't been known for fighting back for a very long time. They've ceded ground to the liberals and the liberal elite for decades by not actually fighting back. So I understand we can keep going back to character. I think he has great character. I think my family has character.
Her father. And I think people can go to the moment when my dad had stopped someone from saying Obama was a Muslim.
I lost my father Thanksgiving night. He woke me up with a kiss and said, "Princess, I know this is a hard day for you." It breaks my heart to hear anybody say anything about your father. And I know how difficult it is for him. When everybody is attacking his family, they're out in front of our apartment, they want to put him in jail. I would like there to be more civility.
Can somebody just say they're sorry?
Personal attack.
Try and bring civility back then. You can do it. You have this, you're in the White House.
They're up for re-election again. 93% negative coverage in the mainstream media about President Trump. They don't want to talk about the successes. I know the president, I know their family for 14 years.
You guys are at the top. I
stand for them.
Obama became president, and the first thing that was said to him from the other side is, we're going to make sure you're a one-term president. We're not going to do anything to help. Well, I'm sorry, wait. I just want to say, who said it? I believe Mitch McConnell said it.
Mitch McConnell said it.
Guys.
And that you can look up. Part of being president is having a pair that can take whatever heat comes towards you.
I promise you, my father's got a pair.
Some Mexicans rapists, he attacked the handicapped. He bragged about it. Listen, we heard the access. Hold on. We heard the access tape.
We've all done things that we regret. I mean, if we're talking about bringing a discourse down, Joy, you've worn blackface. Whoopi,
no,
you said that Roman Polanski.
I'm sorry, and don't.
You said that Roman Polanski, it wasn't rape when he raped a child. So let's talk about
let's talk about this. So you want to bring this up? The question came up.
I did not go in blackface, please.
No, she was not in blackface.
Thank you.
Sorry. Listen, being black, I recognize blackface. This I can say. Okay? I know it when I see it.
Back me up on that.
So now that are you questioning my character?
I'm not questioning your character. I'm talking about you're questioning my father's character.
I'm sorry. I didn't question anybody. I simply said that when you're talking about that your father's taken more heat than anybody else, that it's not so. Instead,
as a president,
as a president,
yes, ridiculous.
He's getting crushed every day.
I think the Central Park 5 took a lot more heat than your father has taken at his hand.
Hold up.
President Trump.
We'll be right back.